This video responds to Ohio 1998 about interest rates and taxes. I can remember in 1985, or maybe it was 84, when I was just a little lamb dog. I was like a lamb puppy. And my dad was applying for a loan to purchase his first house. I want to say that the interest rates on that home loan were something like 20%, and he was required to have a very, very, very large down payment. He eventually went on to pay off the house, and so goes life. Speaking of interest rates, though, what I see of it as an investor, what's my incentive for putting my money somewhere if I'm not going to get a return on it? I end up being forced into a position of having to, say, play the market if I'm not interested in doing that, because that's not for everybody. You know, priming the well, so to speak, and getting into an IRA or trading is not for everybody. Some people are savers, and there's definitely a place for them in the economy. And to have, you know, typical savings accounts that pay zero, and then checking accounts that pay zero, and even the best savings account that I could find just off the cuff, I wanted to say there was like a 2% one. If you were transferring from another account, you could get like a 2% yield on a savings account. But CDs are in the dumps and everything else is in the dumps. So I always wondered what's even the point of offering a CD for 0.5% APR, you know? But I think you need to have interest rates go up a little bit more, because it's not just the banks that benefit from it, it's also investors. And I think something needs to happen in order to inspire investors, but not so much that you squish any sort of entrepreneurial enterprises by making something so expensive that it can't be done. So that's what I think about the whole interest rate thing. And you have to, I don't want to use the term quantitative easing, but you go up just a little bit at a time until you find that balance. I mean, you're going to want to increase those interest rates slow, and you can't have it sudden. Other question was on taxes. That's a very tricky subject, because they have ratios of how much it costs to live. Like they're comparing, say, a Timex to a Rolex, and be like, oh, you know, proportionally the wealthy spend the same percentage on their goods as the poor. There is a baseline of what a person needs to live right, and I'm just not going to touch the tax thing. I think it blew my mind a while back when I first discovered that the higher you go up on the payment scale, or the adjusted gross income and the taxable income, the greater the percentage you pay. It sort of blew my mind that a few years ago, when you got to that top tier, that you paid almost 50%, and then when you're lower, you pay such a low percent that it's it's almost negligible. As far as what I feel about it, I don't mind paying my fair share, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I'm able to make what I make is because of our society and the way that the particular community is arranged, the roads, the schools. And I think that many people who do pay taxes probably feel the same way. What I find is unusual are the people that pay hardly any taxes right now, yet get in the corner with Ron Paul and want this flat rate 12% tax, or whatever the flat rate tax is. I'll tell you people what, while you're getting in bed with this dude and you're looking at something that seems so fair, why don't you really look at what you'll be paying after your little flat rate tax? I bet it's going to be more. Well, that's what I got to say about that stuff. So we'll be seeing y'all soon.